All right, today we're gonna talk about the drug game. I see a lot of people on YouTube glorifying it. You know what I'm saying? That's what they was doing when I was a kid. There's nothing. I was deep in the streets, man. I mean, I sold a lot of drugs. And I've already been in jail for it. You know what I'm saying? I've done been charged with it multiple times. But there's nothing fun about the drug game. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's nothing like okay, it starts off fun. Here's how it works, And the only reason I'm saying this is for kids, man, and for people who's young who thinks it's a fun, type of lifestyle. You know, First off, you know what I'm saying? I started off just like anybody else. You start off small, you know what I'm saying? Most people do, meaning like, when I was 15, just fucking around with weed, messing around with weed, you know what I'm saying? I trying to cuss so much, but, I started off just messing around with weed and then, you know what I'm saying, you sell a little weed, and you start thinking, well, I can make money with this, you know what I'm saying? And then, it's slow money. Weed money at first, like, especially if you're selling small amounts, it's very slow. So you're not really making enough money to actually, to get by. You know what I'm saying? So then I know a dude who had some cocaine, he sold crack, you know what I'm saying? So I just said, hey man, give me an 8 ball, and he said, oh, you ain't gonna do nothing. You ain't about to do nothing. So, but I was always real good at math, you know what I'm saying? And, really the drug game is it's really just a business. I mean, you know what I'm saying? But it's a dangerous one at that, you know what I'm saying? But it's a business. But by the time I was 17, I started selling crack and cocaine. And, you know, what I did was I just treated everybody good. I just treated, I tried to like give everybody what they paid for, you know what I'm saying? Like I started off with like a bottle, like I said, then I got up to a quarter ounce. Then I moved up, I saved up for a while, then I went to a half ounce. Then I saved up for a while, you know what I'm saying? Then I always would put money back for lawyers and for bond money. So I'm saving and putting lawyer money back, putting bond money back, and stacking my money at the same time. Because the more money you got, the more influence you got. Like, meaning, the more money that you have, the more money that that you can, like, it's almost like anything. Like, if you got 20, 30 thousand dollars, you can start dictating on, what you're gonna pay for it. Because now you dealing with major money. You know what I'm saying? Not that that's major money, but I'm saying because it meaning like you go from an ounce to a 4.5 to a 9. Because the way cocaine works, it's like on the metric system. You know what I'm saying? They don't do pounds. You know what I'm saying? They do kilos. So when you got $20,000, if nine that back in the 2007, 9 ounces was going for I don't know 8,000 somewhere in that area. You know what I'm saying? Okay, and I live in Kentucky, so each state is going to change. If you're down in Texas or something, it's going to be lower because the closer you are to Mexico, the cheaper it is. And or if you're in Florida, wherever it's coming up through, wherever it's coming through, it's going to be cheaper down south. But so anyway, by the time I was 21, I had $100,000. You know what I'm saying? Now that sounds great. I was fucking all the girls. Everything was going great. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, man, I was missing out on the things that matter. You know what I'm saying? Like, being around my kid. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was having like my kid's mother, she was just a vindictive. That really didn't even have nothing to do with me. That was her fault. I mean, I couldn't see her. She wouldn't let me see her because she was mad. It wasn't because I sold drugs. It was because she was just vindictive. She was mad because I had a kid with another woman. So, like I said, all this, you know what I'm saying? Like, money, like I said, it's fun at first. And, you got all these girls and, but like I said, man, most of the time you'll chase these girls and they end up being nothing, because most people that's making money, they want the money for the girls, like Tony Montana. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the women, et cetera, et cetera. But that's not, I mean, that is kind of how it goes. But what I'm saying is you got a million things going on too around you that keeps you stressed out. You got people calling you from day to, day, all night, all day, all night, all day, all night. It's not an easy job. People say it's easy money, but it's not easy, especially if you're going to be good at it. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, by the time I was like 21, I had $100,000. I was buying, about 18. I was buying half a brick. That's all I needed, really. I didn't really, there was no point in putting all my money in nothing. So, I was buying about 18. And then by the time I was 22, 23, these dudes broke in my house. And it was from Indianapolis. They was out of a gang called the Luciana Boys. I don't know if you ever heard of them. I didn't even know these motherfuckers. I mean, they was on the run for murder. Anyway, what happened was we got in a shootout, you know, and I got shot twice. I shot one of them, you know, because I wasn't about to come up off nothing. They wouldn't get nothing for free, and they didn't get nothing. And, you know, they ran out the door. But what happened was, guess who got everything? You know, the neighbors. I mean, we shot each other for a good, you know, it seemed like an hour, but it was really only about 20 seconds. I got shot twice, like I said. My arm was hanging off, and I had to be rushed to the hospital. Well, they went and searched my house. I'm talking about the police did, because my neighbors called the police. You know what I'm saying? Okay. So when they searched my house, you know, they got me for trafficking, and they, you know, indicted me probably about 5 months later. On my bond on a trafficking charge was $150,000 on my first offense. You know, I've never, to this day, I've never seen one person with a trafficking charge with $150,000 bond. And this was a state charge. This wasn't a federal charge. This was a state charge. You see what I'm saying? Federal charge, you see bonds like that, but not on state level. And anyway, so by the time I was 25, you know, going through, because that's another thing about the game, you know, because you don't stop. You know, once you get out on bond, which I couldn't make, I mean, I had the money for $150,000, but you can't go bond yourself out in $150,000. Are you crazy? They would keep your money and you sit right in there, and then you get another charge for trying to, you know, trying to bond out for that. They get you for they'd hit you. How do you get this $10,000? Anything over $10,000, they can ask you, where did this come from? You know what I'm saying? So anytime you go to a car lot, if you do try to spend $10,000 or more, they're going to ask you, where's this money coming from? So that's another thing. The government has clamps down now. It used to, like I said, back in the 80s, 70s, you could have walked straight in the car lot and spent $50,000, and they wouldn't have cared twice about it. Now you can't do that unless you have a means to show where it came from. So like I said, by the time I was 25, I'm going to, and also like I'm fighting the case. I got trafficking charge now at this point. They're trying to give me 15 years on my first offense because the gun enhanced it and made it a Class B felony. So, you know, I'm sitting there fighting the case. Finally, luckily, my lawyer, well, not my lawyer, found a loophole, you know, in the fact that they searched the house from 6 to 9, and they didn't get search warrant until 9:30. They got to get the warrant before they search the house. But anyway, like, you know, after that, you know, I didn't beat the case. They had to, they brought the plea down to 7 years. So I took the 7 years. And, you know, and whereas my first charge that I ever had, you know what I'm saying, you only do so much time, and then you get back out, and then you got to serve the rest of it on, you know, probation or parole, whatever, you know, whatever, probation, parole. So, and when you're on probation and parole, it's almost like being in prison, you know what I'm saying, in jail, because you got to go to the probation officer. And now I'm not only that, now I'm addicted to Lortabs. Because where I got shot, they gave me these Lortabs. I didn't know what Lortabs was at the time. I mean, I knew what they was, but I never got into them. I didn't know how addictive they was. So now I'm taking Lortabs, about 20 or 30 a day. You know, selling probably, I don't know. At that time, I was selling maybe 5, 10, 15 pounds a day. I mean, a week. 5, 10, 15 pounds about a week. I was going through about 5, 10, 15 pounds a week. You know, and then another thing about the game is, you know, while all this is going on, you got people trying to plot against you, rob you. I mean, my own sister has robbed me. And when I say rob, I don't mean at gunpoint. I'm talking about just stole from me at least 5 times. You know what I'm saying? She stole $20,000 on my garage one time. You know what I'm saying? After I just gave her money to help her. You know what I'm saying? So that's how the game is, man. Money corrupts everything. Watch, college sports is going to be horrible. Money will corrupt college sports. You know what I'm saying? Money corrupted the NBA. Money corrupts people. Money corrupts everything. You know what I'm saying? And this whole idea that if you got enough money, you can beat cases, that's a lie, man. It has nothing to do with money. If that's the case, why didn't El Chapo beat his, whatever the fuck his name is, from Mexico? Why he beat his case? You see what I'm saying? It's not about the money. It's about who you know. You know what I'm saying? Who you're connected to. You know what I'm saying? And stuff like that. And if most people, you know, that's connected like that, they already got money. You see what I'm saying? So anyway, where I'm going with this is that, so whenever I got out, I'm on probation. I'm son, you know, it don't stop. It just goes. It's a continuous, non-stop going thing. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, there's never really no rest. You know, like there's no, you know, peace of mind. So the whole time I'm fighting to see my kid, arguing with my kid's mother and stuff like that, I'm still selling drugs. At that point I'm buying keys, what I'm saying, like 2 or 3 keys at a time, what I'm saying. And back then it was like 33,000 if you bought like 2 or 3, what I'm saying, 32,000. The numbers go up and down, 32 to 36. But I mean, like I said, when that happens, people start getting jealous of you. You know what I'm saying? They start, they don't like it that you're making money. They start trying every way they can to hate on you. I'm talking about people in the streets, you know what I'm saying? They try to figure out anything they can think of to try to bring you down. You know what I'm saying? So I'm talking about, like, sometimes it would be your own best friends. So by at 28, I gambled a lot too. I used to go to the casinos up in Indiana, the Horseshoe Casino. I was going up there in 2010 when they, when I was 21, I started going up there. You know what I'm saying? They had, and I like to go on that horse. Kentucky Derby and stuff like that, Churchill Downs. That's all year long. So meaning they have horse races all year long. So I would do stuff like that. That was about the only fun I had. And going to my kids' basketball games, like my son, and I would go to my daughter's, you know what I'm saying, sometimes, but it was hard because I couldn't deal with the mom. She was just crazy, you know what I'm saying? So anyway, but other than that, I mean, the lifestyle is not fun. It's not like how they make it on the movies. They show the good parts, man. They show the few parts that is good. They don't show the parts where you're sitting in jail. They don't show the parts where, your friends betray you. They don't show the parts where people sneak in your windows. They don't show the parts where you get shot. They don't show the parts where you go to buy something and, somebody, tries to beat you. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, meaning like, you might buy a key, you might buy 2 keys, you know what I'm saying, or something like that. And usually, the dudes I messed with was pretty good people. I mean, as far as business-wise, above me, you know what I'm saying? The people below me was all sneaky. Because where I'm from, man, it's a small town. You know what I'm saying? Most of these motherfuckers are all inbred, I believe. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. But what I'm saying is, and what I mean by inbred, I don't mean like, I'm talking about the black people. You know what I'm saying? Like, in Campbellsville, they're mostly, I believe, inbred. I mean, you know what I'm saying? They will say that themselves. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, and the white people, they're just so crazy rednecks. You know what I'm saying? So it's not a small town. It's a college town, but it ain't a big town. You know what I'm saying? But there's a lot of money in it. Campbellsville, Kentucky is very, drug invested. So weed, stuff like everybody smokes weed. Everybody does drugs, man. Not everybody, but most people. You know what I'm saying? So my point is, so by the time I was 27, 28, I was at an all-time high money-wise. I had maybe a couple $100,000. I mean, because I was winning so much money gambling. And I had cars, I had motorcycles, I had all the stuff, but you don't even get to enjoy it because while you're sitting there hustling, going real hard, trying to get to a certain point to where you can quit, you know what I'm saying? You're not getting to enjoy riding the motorcycle. You ain't getting to enjoy driving the cars that you buy because another thing, you always got the police like watching you. The police watch you. You got to worry about that. You got to worry about if somebody, that's another part about the game that they don't put in there. You always got to worry about, the police watching you. I mean, they obviously put that in there, but I'm talking about the music industry and stuff. But also your own friends and stuff around you, everybody around you, you know what I'm saying? You have to worry, have they been called up? Are they going to try to get you? You know what I'm saying? Or are they, are they going to try to rob you? Or are they going to try to tell on you? I mean, which one is it? I mean, you don't know. You know what I'm saying? Are they going to stay solid? And at the end, they never do, man. You know what I'm saying? In the end, very few people stay solid. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Hell, even my best friend who I lived with growing up, who claimed to be my brother, you know what I'm saying? When in 2020, when the pandemic came, I started getting real sick and started having seizures and stuff. And, when this happened, he kept coming to me, hey man, I need a plug, you know what I'm saying? If you ain't gonna do nothing. So I hooked him up with my connection because I was done. I was done with it. I was like, man, I'm fucked up right now. I can't hustle. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, my point is that this dude, me and him supposed to be like brothers. He moves in with my baby mama. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, there is no loyalty out here. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, and now with all the stuff that they have, technology wise, and, the ways they watch money, and they're really, You know, like everything's ran by banks now, shit like that. Like it's always been ran by banks, but I'm saying everything's watched. You know what I'm saying? Everything you're doing is being watched. You know what I'm saying? If they want you, they will get you. You know what I'm saying? It's just a matter of when. But anyway, so I caught another charge in 2018. Luckily, I beat it on a legal search and seizure, you know, because we got pulled over. And, you know what I'm saying? Like, they're allowed to check your car, but they ain't allowed to just dig in your pockets. They found I didn't have nothing but like a quarter ounce or something like that on me. I was dropping off in a half ounce of weed. But what I'm trying to say is, man, is there's a lot of different elements to how, like, you know, for one, however big you get, the worse people's going to hate. You know what I'm saying? Okay. And it's lonely at the top, just as lonely, you know, like, you probably, like, meaning, you know, ain't you ever heard of saying it's lonely at the top? Well, it is. It's very lonely. You know what I'm saying? Because you making money and everybody around you is trying to do something, you know, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you always have to, you know, this girl, for instance, I'll give you an example story. This girl I was messing with. One day she calls me, and I wasn't even messing with her no more at the time, but I've helped her out a million times. Because I was very, you know, charity. I helped her, like, I looked out for people if they needed it. You know what I'm saying? I gave money out all the time. Hell, during the pandemic, I gave about $80,000. But my point is that this girl I was messing with, or had messed with for years, she calls me up to her house one day. It's middle of daytime. I always had a gun on me. You know what I'm saying? Because, you have to. You know what I mean? And, you know, but usually I didn't carry it in the daytime, you know, because in the daytime, you don't plan for something like that to happen. Well, this girl, she calls me up there, I walk in, and boom, I just get ambushed. Because see, it was like, I had, you know, my house was at this point built like Fort Knox, man. You know, I had cameras all around it, you know, to watch for robbers and thieves. I had, you know, my windows was screwed down. My door had steel things across it to where you couldn't kick it in. Somebody tried, for the police or for robbers. I mean, that goes both ways. Like, meaning the doors was like that for that reason. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is, so she knew she couldn't rob me like that. So when I go to her house, you know, they just, boom, dudes come from everywhere. You know, there's people coming from the front door, the back door. I'm getting pistol whipped. Dude puts a gun in my face. I mean, not one dude. I'm saying 3 dudes. There's 3 dudes in the house. There was 2 dudes behind the house, so I couldn't get out the back. You know what I'm saying? And I had no gun on me. Anyway, so basically what I'm saying is this whole glorifying of the game, these people trying to act hard and stuff like that, it's all bullshit, man. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing fun about it. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing fun about getting hit upside your head with a pistol about 20 times. There's nothing fun about seeing your mom while you know, on the other side of that glass, you know, while you sitting in jail, or your kids, you know, not even being able to talk to them because you're in jail. You don't even want to come see you like that, you know, et cetera, et cetera. There's nothing fun about that. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, at my peak, I had like $250,000, something like that, which is a lot of money for a lower, you know, mid-level type of dude. You know what I'm saying? Not even mid-level, yeah, mid-level, I guess, but you know what I'm saying? Because I sold a lot of weed too. But, you know, like I said, and plus heroin and meth has took over, you know what I'm saying, fentanyl. So nowadays, you know, cocaine's it's making a little bit of comeback. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is there's just a billion things that happen in this game, you know, in the game. There's a billion things, like, you know, if you're going to sell drugs, if you was going to, I wouldn't advise you to sell any, but it'd be weed. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Because weed's more of a laid-back drug, you know what I'm saying? But in general, though, even that, if you get big enough, people's going to hate on you. People's going to try to rob you. Anytime that you have money, you know, people are going to try to figure out a way to get it from you. You know what I'm saying? If you know, or they're going to try to act like they're your friends so they can be around it, or they're going, you know, so they can get money off of you. So the people that surround you is not even your real friends. Even your day ones, like I said, my day one who lived with me, who I lived with when we was young, when we was kids, he moved in with my baby mom when I got sick. You know what I'm saying? When I started having seizures. So that's just how it is. Don't never let these people on the internet make you think it's cool, because there's nothing cool about selling drugs. Plus, you're also hurting people's kids. Like, let me ask you this, like, for instance, if I never thought about this till I, you know, had time to think, but if, you know, you have a sister or a mother, you know, would you want her strung out on cocaine? Would you want her strung out on crack? Would you want her strung out on heroin? All these people dying from fentanyl. You know what I'm saying? You know, would you want that going on? So, like, when you're doing that, when you're selling it yourself, you're doing the same thing that you wouldn't want to happen to your people. So you're being a complete hypocrite. You know what I'm saying? That's another thing about the game. Solid. You know, being solid, there's like a bunch of different, like, solid don't just mean that you didn't tell. Solid also means, you know, that, like, one, okay, for instance, you know, you, like, to be solid, like, you know, that mean you don't fuck with your dude's girl. You know what I'm saying? You don't, if your dude's in jail, you send him money. I bought people cars. I bonded people out of jail. I've sent people with money to prison while they was locked up. I've sent them money while the whole time they was down. And then they didn't care. People don't care. Like, meaning, like, when they're done and they, you know, meaning they ain't getting nothing from you and you're of no use to them, then it's over. You know what I'm saying? That's how it works. That movie, Paid in Full, is a good example, man. I mean, look at how grimy. Look at the crew. Okay, you had Paid in Full. You had Rico. Okay, and you had which, I mean, I don't remember what his real name is in real life, but the little dude that ended up killing Mitch, you know what I'm saying? And then you had AZ, I think was his real name, but on the movie, I can't remember what his name was. But in the end, look how it all ended out. You know what I'm saying? Mitch's brother died. Mitch died. AZ, or whatever his name in real life was, he got shot in the head. Alpo, that was his name. He ended up being a rat, you know what I'm saying? So that whole crew, look how it disbanded, just like that. And it was only for a matter of years. It's a short time. You see what I'm saying? It's not like you get to enjoy this shit unless you're somebody like, you know, fucking Carlo Gambino, and I'm sure he didn't even get to enjoy it to a certain extent. That's why I try not to cuss, and I try to, you know, get these young people to go a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, that's why I try to get them to get into church and stuff like that. And that's because that's another thing. The girls out here that you mess with, they're whores. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Any girl that comes to you because you got money, that's only because they're sluts in the first place. You know what I'm saying? And when you're selling drugs, even the good girls who want to mess with you, they're not going to, because their family ain't going to want that around their daughter. You see what I'm trying to say? So you'd be very lucky to find a good one. You know what I'm saying? In the streets. You know what I'm saying? Most girls out here that want your money, you know what I'm saying, or they want to be with you and you sell drugs and shit, that's only because they want what you got. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, if I could say anything, you know, about the game, is it's all a joke. Like, it's all made up. It's like, meaning it's all just, it's rigged, man. The whole game is rigged. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, and they do show some of these parts on movies, but a lot of these rappers, they glorify like King Von, and I think is his name. I think my son, he looks up to him, and I'm like, dude, he's nothing, man. Who is he? You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm sure he has, like, you know, he's dead. You know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure. You know what I'm saying? I mean, you know, so, like, I mean, you know, I don't know. Like, when I was young, I looked up to, like, Tupac or whatever. They're all dead. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, these rappers, they don't live long, for one, because they try to be something they're not. But I'm talking about even these people that sell drugs, they don't live long. You know what I'm saying? Or if they don't live long, they die in the penitentiary. You know what I'm saying? Or they end up, you know what I'm saying, telling. Whichever one happens. There's three things that end up happening. Now, you know, every now and then you got an old drug dealer. If you stay low key and you stay out of the way and you just do a little bit at a time, you know what I'm saying, you might get by with it, you know what I'm saying? But just like Frank said to Tony, it's the guys that last long in this business. They stay low key. You know, they don't go after the flash, the women, and the champagne, or however he said it. That's all true, man. You know what I'm saying? You know, but even them guys, you know, even like I said, like Carlo Gambino, he had to stay shut up in the house all the time. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure he got to go out every now and then, but his life was probably miserable, you know what I'm saying, to be honest. And plus, he always had to worry about somebody trying to kill him, you know. So just my advice is stay away from the game. Find you a good woman. Go to church. Get involved in church. Because don't nobody care. Ain't nobody going to have your back like God's going to have your back. So that, my friends, is the only advice I can give you. You know what I'm saying? The game is not what you think it is. You know what I'm saying? The streets are not what you think it is. And hell, even if you're a regular person just working a job, you see how people, even if, let's just forget the game for a second. I'm talking about even if you just have a job, a regular job, you know what I'm saying? There's going to be people there that hate on you. If you become manager, And the other people, you know what I'm saying, are not managers, and they think they should have got the spot that you got, they're not going to like you. You know what I'm saying? That's just life, man. You know what I'm saying? It's like that with everything. But now, if you get you a good job and you mind your, you know, if you mind your business and you keep your head down and, you know, get into a church and get you a good woman and live a modest, humble life, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling you, you will be more happy than if you had $1 billion. Look at all these rich people in the world. Look how miserable they are. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Look how miserable, you know, some of these rich people, like, go look at Hollywood. Look at them people. You know what I'm saying? Look at Kanye West, man. The man's in mental hospitals all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, Britney Spears. I'm not judging those people. I don't even care why or what's going on. I'm just saying, look at them. You know what I'm saying? Look at what it's done to them. So, you know, like I said, you know, even like the realest, most honest gangsters and drug dealers, because there's a difference between a gangster and a drug dealer anyway. You know what I'm saying? Well, some gangsters sell drugs, but a hustler and a drug dealer are two different things. You know what I'm saying? Okay, but either way, we'll get on that another subject. But what I'm trying to say is, I can't remember where I was going with this. I'd have to, I don't know. Like, meaning like a hustler, drug dealer, the gangster. I mean, a real one. What, like any of these interviews that you see on like Vlad or any of that stuff like that, they're going to tell you, man, stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's horrible. And see, some will tell you that you can do it better than they. You think these young people, they think, well, I can do it. I can do it. I can get away with it. You know what I'm saying? What makes you think you going to do it better than Pablo Escobar, for instance? You know what I'm saying? I mean, El Chapo. I mean, you know what I'm saying? All of them got brought down. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know what I mean? Like I said, the only ones, the few I know is Meyer Lansky, Carlo Gambino, a few, you know what I'm saying, etc. But those are very, very rare instances, you know, and they was very insulated, and they also lived in a way different time than nowadays. You see what I'm saying? Technology has came a long way. The police are very smart now, meaning they have the technology to, you know, and they have unconstitutional laws that help them get you in the first place. Like, meaning they broke the Constitution to try to get, like the RICO. That's a bullshit law, man. You know what I'm saying? It's just a made-up law that they made up. So, and, you know, that's my life in the game. That's my experience, and I'm just putting it out there. Hopefully you stay away from it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully, like I said, just try to stay modest and try to live, you know, try to just, you know, you don't have to, you can have all the money in the world, you ain't gonna be happy. If you ain't happy without money, you ain't gonna be happy with it. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, it's good to have money and you need money, but you know what I'm saying, it ain't gonna make you happy. But sometimes you get put in a situation where you gotta have money. I mean, you know what I'm saying? And you just do what you have to do. You have to survive. But I'm telling you, it's not worth it. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, that's where I'm gonna leave this at, and I'm gonna get off here. Because it also, like I said, it affects your everyday life. It ain't like you sell drugs and you just, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, you're just living an average, normal life. No, you have to keep an eye on everything. So, you know, you have to keep an eye on your friends, supposed friends. You know what I'm saying? You have to keep an eye on your family. I mean, because even your own family will betray you in this shit. You know what I'm saying? If enough money's involved. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, that's how it is. There's no rules out here no more. Nobody lives by no code. They're all fake. So that's where I'm gonna leave this at. I'm gonna get off here. Y'all take care.